guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope everybody's living their best life, and if you aren't, please do something today to put you on the path of living your best life. So in today's video, I'm going to be walking you guys through me doing these knotless braids for the first time. So as you guys can see, I already got done with a whole 3/4 of it. This is the last little quarter I got to do. And I'm just going to go ahead and show you guys what I've been doing thus far. I am going to leave a few links in the description box below on some of the videos that I learned from personally, just in case you guys need a more thorough step-by-step way on how to achieve this look. So the first thing that I got over here is my braiding hair. My sister helped me pick this out. So this one is 3x Gland Formation Natural Touch Braid. So far it's been doing really well, or I've been having a very easy time like braiding my hair because it doesn't really tangle up, and I haven't been like, you know, throwing away hair. Any beginner braiders know what I'm talking about. So earlier while I was doing this, I was only using the black castor oil on my roots in order to just make sure that my scalp is moisturized, but I ran out of black castor oil, so I just decided to use this. It's basically the same thing as castor oil, but instead of just plain castor oil, it's like the grease format. It's been working well. And then of course I got my Shine and Jam to help slick down the braids as I'm braiding it. Along with that, I also have a couple combs, this one to just brush through my hair and this one to help me part. I have scissors because sometimes at the bottom there are little knots that form. Not that many, but those that I found, I just go ahead and cut off. There's no need to detangle it because it's not my real hair. And then I have just a hair clip. So as you guys can see, I went ahead first and I blow dried all my hair. I started off with just 2 braids going back, and I did that a few days ago, a few days or a couple days prior to this whole little process. This right here is technically my 3rd day, but on the first day of braiding my hair, I only spent about 4 hours on it. Then yesterday I spent the whole day doing it, and then today I'm probably going to finish in about 2 hours. I feel like I'm going to finish in about 2 hours because this isn't going to take me that long since it's in the front of my head. The back of the head is a different story. I just went ahead and did all that off camera because it took me a while to understand how to grip my hair in order to get it to latch on or attach to, not necessarily root, but to my hair, and it took me a while to understand how to braid it down. So yeah, right here I'm just going to show you guys how I did, or how I've been doing my hair. So first you want to go ahead and just make a part on the side, and on this part I'm gonna go ahead and go off camera for a second just to make sure that I got that part very clean. So I'm gonna see you guys in a second. Alright guys, so I'm back. So I went ahead and parted off this larger section, but I also parted off this little subsection which I'm going to be braiding with. So what you want to go ahead and do is just go ahead and clip that back, tie up the rest of your hair so it's out of the way. And then what I like to do, or what I've been doing, is just I slightly detangle the little section I'm going to be braiding with. I get some of the grease or the castor oil. I go ahead and grease my scalp. And then as I'm greasing my scalp, I go ahead and take more oil or more grease and I just put it down the rest of my hair. Because basically what these braids are supposed to do they're supposed to be a protective style. So you want to make sure that you're moisturizing your hair before you even put them in. And then I go ahead and make sure that I definitely saturate my ends. And personally, I like working on blow dried hair and as opposed to like stretched hair, because with blow dried hair my hair is closer to the actual texture of the braiding hair, so it makes it easier for me to blend my natural hair it's easier for me once my hair is blow dried to blend it with the braiding hair. So what you want to go ahead and do first, before you even start braiding, go ahead and take a little bit of the Shine and Jam and just place that at the root of your hair as well. And then what you want to go ahead and do, separate this into 3 sections and begin braiding as normal. So that's 1 and that's 2. Once you did about 2 stitches, or about 1.5, you want to go ahead and take your pointer fingers and grab the middle piece of hair. Allow this top piece to just lay right on top of your pointer finger, as you guys can see right here. And then what you want to go ahead and do is take a little piece of hair and basically attach it. So one piece is going to the outside piece of hair that was just laying on top of your pointer finger, and then you're going to be grabbing the other piece with your pointer finger and thumb that was holding the middle piece. Then what you want to go ahead and do is braid it like normal. And then you want to braid until this piece is back hanging over here. As you guys can see, this piece now is over my pointer finger, and I'm still holding this piece with my middle finger. Next, when you want to grab your second piece of hair and add on, again, grab this middle piece or this second piece of hair with your pointer finger and your thumb, attach it to the middle piece of hair, and then attach this other piece of hair or this straggling piece onto the piece of hair that was hanging on top of your pointer finger. And then go ahead and braid. And then for this next part, if you're looking closely or you're just like paying attention to it, you can see that there's one piece of added braiding hair to this side, and then in the middle piece it looks like there's two pieces of braiding hair, because you can see how this separates, and then there's one piece. What you want to do is braid it until these two pieces of braiding hair are by itself. So you have one that's hanging over your pointer finger, and then you have the other one that you're grabbing on with your pointer finger and your thumb, and then this one that has the two pieces already is just hanging out to the side. That's when you want to go ahead and get your third piece of hair and add it on to those pieces that do not have two pieces already. So you grab onto one with your middle finger and your thumb, and then you grab onto the other with the one that was hanging on top of your pointer finger. Then you braid. And then if you like the thickness of this so far, you can go ahead and keep it like that. But what I like to do is around here, I like to add a fourth piece of hair. This time it doesn't really matter if there's two pieces, three pieces, whatever, because now all pieces of hair should have the equal amount of strands. So this should have two pieces of added braided hair, two pieces of added braided hair, two pieces. And I just go ahead and add my fourth piece of braiding hair to this to help with the thickness of it. And then you continue braiding down. And then once you've got that last piece in your hair to about the amount that you need it, get a lot of Shine and Jam and then just spread that down on top of your braiding hair. Spread that down basically the whole length of it. This I've noticed, especially since my hair is shorter, it helps attach my actual hair to the braiding hair and makes it easier for me to braid it. Then you want to go ahead and then just braid down the length of the braiding hair, or braid down the length of your hair, the attached hair, etc. until it's all the way down to your liking. But you see right here how that little piece, that's why you like to put the jam, or why I like to put the jam on before, because it makes it easier for me to just tuck it and basically glue it back in its little place. And also makes it easier just to lay down the excess hairs on the braid. And voila, you have one finished braid. Feel around, make sure you don't have any knots. I don't feel any knots. Of course, I'm gonna go check just to make sure. And if you have to redo a braid, go ahead and do that. You don't want to be looking crazy out here. I'm gonna show you guys that one more time, because personally I feel like I probably didn't explain it properly. And again, I am going to be leaving a couple of videos down in the description box that I personally watched that helped me understand this a little bit more. So then if you guys need extra steps or like a little bit extra help, which is understandable, go ahead and just click on one of those videos. It isn't made by me, it's made by other YouTubers, but it's good to support one another. It's good to support one another. Anyway, go ahead and part this. I'm gonna go look in the mirror. I can't part my hair outside of the mirror. It's hard for me. Okay, so I went ahead and parted the second section off camera. So you want to go ahead and grease your scalp again with your castor oil or whatever oil you're using or grease that you're using. And then make sure you grease down the length of your hair as well. Don't forget those ends. Then take your Shine and Jam or whatever gel or wax you're using. Go ahead and just put that at the root of your hair. Help smooth down the hair while you're braiding. And start off braiding your real hair. So what I like to do is just do 1 and then 2, or about 1.5. Then you see how I have one piece of hair that's just hanging over my pointer finger. Then I'm grabbing the middle piece with my pointer finger and my thumb. And then I'm letting the third piece just hang in my hair. I grab my first piece of hair. I put the middle part where this middle piece of hair and this piece of hair that's just floating on top of my pointer finger meet. I grab this piece of hair with my middle finger and thumb and I attach it to the middle piece of my actual hair. And then I attach the second piece of the first piece, or this little arch that I have going on, onto this piece of hair that was hanging over my pointer finger. And I braid as normal. And as you can see, these pieces of hair are now attached, or this first piece of hair is now attached. And I continue braiding until this piece that doesn't have any hair attached to it is over my pointer finger and my thumb. So you can see this piece without any extra hair attached is hanging over my pointer finger. And then this piece that's in the middle of my hair that has hair attached, as well as my natural hair, is hanging on to my pointer finger and thumb, or in between my pointer finger and thumb. And then this extra piece I'm just holding in my hand. I'm going to grab my second piece of hair. As you can see, the hair is done where it's like an arch. So it's one big piece of hair, but I just folded it over into like an arch or into halves. You take that arch area and you place it where the piece of hair that's hanging over your pointer finger, as well as the piece of hair that you are grabbing personally with your pointer finger and thumb, meets. Then you remove your pointer finger. You allow that piece of hair to fall in between to attach to the middle piece. You grab onto it, and then you attach your other piece of hair from that first strand onto the piece of hair that is hanging over your pointer finger. Then you braid as normal. Make sure it's not getting super tangled, and then check your progress just to make sure there's no bumps. And then as you can see, this piece of hair that's attached only has one strand with it. This piece of hair in the middle that's attached to my hair only has one strand with it. But this piece of hair right here that I'm holding in my hand, it has 2 pieces. So what you want to do, you want to keep the one that has 2 pieces out of the way. This one is over the pointer finger, and then this one I'm grabbing with my pointer finger and thumb. You want to grab your third piece of hair, again where the archway is. You want to take that where your pointer finger and thumb, or the middle piece of hair, meet, as well as the piece of hair that was hanging over your pointer finger. You want to go ahead and attach one strand to the outside piece, and attach the other strand or grab onto it with your middle finger and thumb. So one, grab onto your middle finger and thumb, the other grab on with your other hand that was holding onto or just hanging over your pointer finger. Then braid that in. Just braid that in a few times. It doesn't really matter, because on this next piece, just to make the braid a little bit thicker, again, check your way, make sure that's just no bad arch. I'm just gonna go ahead and add in a fourth piece of hair, and I'm doing it the same way that I did all the others. So the middle piece, grab on and attach it to the out piece that's on this side, that's I'm able to hold with my opposite hand. And the braid. And when you got your last piece attached and it's firm enough, what you want to go ahead and do is take your Shine and Jam or whatever wax, gel, or whatever you're using to help smooth down your hair, and you just want to just glob that on to your natural hair or the ends of your natural hair along and down the length of the weave or the braiding hair. Then you just want to braid it in like so. I hope I explained that well enough for you guys. If you need to watch it over again, I totally understand. It just takes practice. Honestly, you can watch as many videos as you want to, but if you're a learner like me, where you have to do something in order to fully understand a concept, I highly recommend just trying out a little piece of hair on yourself. You don't have to go full out and try to braid your whole head like me. Just try one little piece of hair for like a cute little braided hairstyle, or maybe a ponytail look. Do one braid in the front, one braid on the side. Whatever helps you practice, you know. And eventually you'll get the hang of it. Again, I will be leaving some more videos linked down in the description box if you need any help. And for the remainder of the video, I'm just going to be braiding the rest of my hair. And if you need to, I'm just going to go ahead and play some music in the background, and you guys can just watch me braid my hair, because I understand that sometimes words can just make it even more confusing.
I'm a man and you're boys. Nothing but cowboys, just like the word says.
Who do you do it for? What do you do it for? Just the applause, wanting it all, say what you want. Need a big stage, wanting the lights, needing the fame. I know you're working hard, don't wanna take a break. Every second you wait. have them scream my name. And I wanna live right. I know it's my time. Stopped at a red light. I'm tryna go. If I can't have it all, then I don't want it. If I can't have it all, then why am I trying? Why am I? Why am I trying? Why am I? You wanna party with me? I wanna get my mom everything. You wanna ride with me? Want you all just to be proud of me. I know you're working hard, don't wanna take a break. Every second you waste, you count it up and count it up again. Counting it up and counting it up again. Yeah, I know a lot don't make it, but that doesn't really faze me. Leave it all up to me. I'm writing up all my dreams, writing up all my, pulling up to the scene, telling you what I mean, what I mean. I wanna live right. I know it's my time. Stopped at a red light. I'm tryna go. If I can't have it all, then I don't want it. If I can't have it all, then why am I trying? Why am I? Why am I trying? Yeah, running you up a back, giving you this and that. I promise you the whole world, gonna give all that I have back. Asking me where I've been, taking all that you give, handing me everything. Tell you I wanna live. I wanna live. Why am I? I wanna feel. Why am I? I wanna give. Why am I?
Check.
So don't be so focused.
We in the basement, trying to make it back up. Can't keep G's down for too long though. Yeah. I have paid for my not so wise decisions. Some so traumatizing, how could I forget them? They ask me how I'm living, and I say I'm living. I have been taught to pray since I remember. The days seem longer when you're dwelling on times you were forgiven. Tried to talk to my counselor, but Wi-Fi was hidden. Misplace my sense sometimes, but when did my mind go missing? When did negativity blind my vision? It feels like 2 steps forward, 10 steps back, can't do nothing right. One good deed, 8 unanswered prayers, I can't do nothing right. One screen call, one more homie gone, can't do nothing right. One day I'll do something right. One day I'll do something right. And it feels like, ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Ooh, yeah, 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 yeah. One more time, sir. Ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Ooh, yeah. My, what a sacrifice. My, what a sacrifice. Had to pack my bags to get back to life. I'ma catch you people in the afterlife.
Last one. So I know the parts aren't perfect, but with practice, I feel like they'll get a little bit better.
Eating out, had to cool out on the fashion. Can't be passive on your passion. Many pay cuts just to skip out on the pay stub. Many wanna go, but many men can't come. Raw's formation till I'm laying in my casket. No weak links in the click, no lag. Let's talking about a plan, way more action. No cap, only about making it happen. Had to bring the small talk down to a minimum. Gotta drop an arm or a leg just to spit with them. But it's like 2 steps forward, 10 steps back. Can't do nothing right. One good deed, 8 unanswered prayers. I can't do nothing right. One screen call, one more homie gone. Can't do nothing right. One day I'll do something right. One day I'll do something right. And it feels like.
And here are the results. I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and turn on that post notification bell so you're notified every single time that I post. With that being said, I hope you all live your best life. Peace, love, and light to you all.